Salute, salute. It's HadukenSharon. We are back with another show. Shout out to everyone that's here. Um, Hope everybody had a happy New Year, Merry Christmas, happy holidays in general. I hope everyone is having a blessed day. Today, block this dude real quick. Shout out to Andrew K in the chat, and I do agree with you. People who are questioning us after 2 games are simpletons. Yeah, the fate of the Knicks, yeah. Pudge Nice was good. Salute. Kaiser Souza, salute. Fate of the Knicks. I'm not muted, C-Mac. I can hear myself, don't worry. I am muted. I checked. What's some dang? C-Mac was good. Kaiser Souza, we did get Denzel Valentine, but we already waived him like 10 minutes ago, so we don't got him nowhere. And he's trash now, so I don't even care. To be honest, personally, he's not really that good anymore. He's not like that. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about the OKC game and talk about the Raptors game and talking about the situation with the protocols and everyone back. M. Grady said, "Happy New Year, great analysis as always." I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate all you guys because my first actual video, the 18-minute long video, you guys ran that up. I got like 800 views on that. That's just crazy. So I appreciate you guys. We're near on 300 subs coming in. So we're doing our thing right now. My bad. Gotta increase the height of my chair real quick. But yeah, gonna talk about the game versus OKC. Gonna talk about the Raptors game. We're gonna have some people on if they join later. I'm pretty sure some people are gonna join. It really depends. I need to see who exactly is gonna be on. Probably the usual. And then if anyone in the chat that I am knowledgeable about, if I know you, I'll most likely let you into. But yeah, let me just read. C-Max said, "Me and Guillermo are alike." No, that's funny. Leon and Worldwide Waste got to score soon. Bulls killed it with DeMar and Lonzo. Yo, Chuck Allen, what's good? Chuck Allen, let me know if you want to be on. I don't think you've been on my thing before. But just let me know. Pause. That sounded wrong. But yeah. If Haduken does his podcast, the Knicks will win. No. Let's see if that happens. But yeah, shout out to you, Chuck Allen. Wilson Dang. Fire the front office. Why the hell would you keep Valentine? Now, C-Mac, they already they waived him like 15 minutes ago. They basically got him just to get like an extra $1 million cap space. To be honest, that's basically all they did. But yeah, let me go over the box score real quick. Let me tweet out that I'm live because I forgot to do so. Yeah, my bad. Alright, I'm done now. Just gotta make it known to not forget it. Alright, now I'm straight. Chuck Allen has good taste. Yeah, Chuck Allen is a cool guy. What's good, Keyshawn? Salute. What's up with you guys? Yeah, let me know if you guys want the StreamYard. I'll drop it if anything. But I'm gonna talk about the stats first from the OKC game because the OKC game is obviously the one. The first one that I missed, but go over the score, go over the box score and everything that happened because these games, obviously, I'm gonna say it again. Julius Randall was not playing this game. He was out with health and safety, and then who else? I'll check right now. But we lost 95-80 to the OKC Thunder. We didn't have Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker, by the way, is out tomorrow again, but we didn't have Kemba. D-Rose is still out. Randall is out this game. Noel is out. Sims is out. Who else is out? I don't remember. But that's the main guys that are really out this game. Let's see. Kaiser Sosa said more journeyman. Boy, really damn, why am I late? Yeah, C-Mac. Shams tweeted that we waived him. And the Knicks PR. We got some important games coming up against the Celtics. We gotta take those. Yeah, we got a lot of important games. Every game is important from now on. 100%. But let's go over the score real quick of the guys. RJ Barrett, who has been struggling before, still struggling from shooting. He went 1 for 8 from the 3-point line, which is bad, horrible. 5 and 9 from the free throw. Got to work on that. Thankfully, the next game he came back. I think he only missed 1 or 2 free throws. But he went 10 from 20, 9 from 11 from the arc, inside the arc. So he did really well finishing with his right and his left hand. Um, 7 rebounds, 26 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals. He also did have 4 turnovers. He had 2 turnovers in the post. Actually, no, he had 1 turnover in the post. 1 he stepped out of bounds. The other one was a pass. He didn't have a good pass to Obi for a dunk, and I think there was a similar one like that for Mitch. But he did have, just like Julius Randle, he did have when I say a lot of potential assists this game that were just missed. I can't really blame him for that. Obi Toppin 1 for 4. Played 28 minutes, by the way, 27 minutes. He has 7 rebounds, 5 points, 1 assist, nothing crazy. Mitchell Robinson had a solid game, 4 or 5, 9 and 12. Basically a double-double. Miles McBride had a tough game, 3 of 9, 1 for 6. This is actually, I think, his first start of his career. Miles McBride, 3 for 9 from the field, 1 for 6 from 3. 7 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Then you look at Evan Fournier. He had a trash game again. 1 for 8, 1 for 5 from 3. He had 3 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Not a good game whatsoever. Taj did what Taj does. He didn't score, but he got 7 rebounds. Quentin Grimes did not have a good game. 1 for 6 from the field and the 3-point line. He had 3 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Emmanuel Quickly, another one. As you can see, a common trend. Every single person here only made 1 3 so far, and they've missed a lot more than they shot. 1 for 7 from 3 for Quickly, 4 for 12 from the field, 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist, and 2 turnovers. Alec Burks, I was kind of confused why Alec Burks. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you guys were also confused. But I was confused why Alec Burks only played 23 minutes this game. I expected like 30, but he went 3 for 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Nothing crazy. And then Kevin Knox, 3 of 8, 1 for 4. Actually, no, this wasn't the game, but I'm going to talk about a little Knox later. But he has 7 points. That's so far for the Knicks. Let me see what people in the chat are saying. At least we got Mitch and Sims back from protocol. Salute to the neophyte. What's good, Josh? Go Mitch. We need D-Rose back. We could win these games without Randall if we had him. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. But real quick, if you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, turn that notification bell on. Got 15 people in here so far. People are going to start coming in. But appreciate you guys for sticking around with me. But now I'm going to turn over to the OKC Thunder box score. Dort, who I actually really like, Lou Dort, he had a bad game. He mainly guarded RJ this whole game and vice versa. But RJ played pretty good defense this game. He played good defense against Dort. Just all around, I guess he played a good defensive game. Lou Dort, 2 for 12 from the field, 1 for 6 from the 3. He only has 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Paul Watson, I don't even know. 2 and 3, I guess. I didn't even know he was playing. I'm gonna be honest. Isaiah Roby, 3 of 3, 2 of 2 from 3. Basically had a double-double. Aaron Wiggins, who I actually liked coming out the draft. I thought he was gonna be a little steal. He's been playing really well for the Thunder. He went 5 for 8, 2 of 4 from 3, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block, and 1 assist. Shea, guy that I wanted on this team. Not in the draft because I didn't know crazy much about him on the draft, but 23 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 4 turnovers. But he did not have a great shooting night. I will say, to a certain extent, we played good defense on him. But the thing that bothered me is that Grimes, Taj, and Mitch were getting babied by Shea. And Fournier too. He was doing the same Euro layup, acrobatic layup on them every single time he scored, and it was really frustrating to watch. They could not do anything about it. Kenrich Williams, 3 of 5, 2 of 2 from the 3-point line, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. As you can see, a lot of these dudes made their threes so far. Pokuševski, 2 of 5, 2 of 3 from 3. Again, 2 threes made. 6 points, 8 rebounds. Derek Favors, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Ty Jerome, 4 10, 3 7 from the 3, 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. And then whatever. The rest is whatever. But Theo Maladon, 2, 4, 5 points. And then Mike Muscala, who's actually one of the best shooters, I guess, technically in the league, went 3 for 9 from 3. But that's basically it for that. Yeah, while I talk about that, let me see what's going on in the chat. I'm kind of going to talk about what happened during this game that I saw really made us lose, in a sense. We need the Euros back. Great point that nobody's talking about. That's the new narrative now. That was funny. Josh, not that new, but the true narrative. Yo, Geraldine, salute. Hope everything is good with you. 33-year-old Derrick Rose is going to be our team's leading scorer and lead us to wins. Randall is your boy. Okay, we don't need Rose to be the leading scorer just to help us the second like he has been doing. No, I do agree with that to a certain extent, but I'm going to read these stats off and then I'm going to tell you the whole entire thing about it. Pudge Nice, salute to Pudge Nice, but by the way, I've said this before, I don't know if you heard. Denzel Valentine, we did put ourselves in a 3-team trade between the Lakers and the Cavaliers, and we got Denzel Valentine from the Cavs. The Lakers gave Rajon Rondo, and I don't know what they got back, the Lakers, but that's basically what happened. But yeah, he's not on the team anymore. He has gotten waived. Rick V, salute. Knicks podcasters are better at scouting than the front office. I do agree because basically every single person I've been said has actually looked good, but that is what it is. Guillermo, what's good, Guillermo?
Yo, what's good, man?
How you feeling?
Still
Ill?
crap, but yeah, man. I might have to step out for a little bit, but
Now you good?
yeah, man. Let's talk some Knicks, bro. So
All
you're
right.
going over the OKC game, so
Yeah, I'm about to read the team comparison real quick. Then we're gonna talk about it. Team comparison real quick. Obviously, we lost by 15 points, 95-80. First time in a while we scored that low amount of points. The Thunder only got one more rebound than us, but then you look at the assists. We had 12 assists this whole entire game. 12 assists compared to 21. We're always low in the assist category, no matter who's playing. So I don't want to hear, but 12 is very low for this, and then we're gonna kind of talk about it later. You'll see the exact reason we only had 12. 6 steals, 3 blocks, basically the same turnovers. We've been keeping our turnovers down every single game. Basically, we're actually pretty good on turnovers, except there's always some dumb turnovers every single game. Field goal, 37% for us, 41% for them. And then this one right here is one of the main reasons we lost. These next two, 19.5% from 3. Guillermo, just imagine shooting 8 for 41 from 3. 19.5%. I haven't seen that in a while. And then the OKC Thunder shot 42%. And then from the free throw line, 54.5 for us and 71.5 for them. So the low amount of assists this game was mainly because of the 3-pointers missed and some easy baskets under the rim. I don't care what anyone says. I don't want to hear because I never said this, but this is what apparently is going around, that people are like, people wanted to play the kids, this and that, but you can't blame Randall now. So who are you gonna play him for this game? If Randall played, we would have won. I don't want to hear any of that. The team shot 8 for 41 for 3, and we lost by 15 points, and we shot bad from the free throw line. And the other thing that I kind of want to talk about, and I know Guillermo's going to talk about it too, the 3-point and perimeter defense in general, especially this game, was atrocious. Like, bro, they could the things that kept happening is one of the Thunder's players will miss a 3 or miss a layup, and then they get second chance rebound and then pass it out and hit another 3. Like, that's what just kept happening. And RJ created a lot of good looks this game. Shout out to my guy Ethan. Go to I could post it in the chat if you want to check it out if you haven't already. It went viral. He had his Twitter video of RJ that game. He created a lot of good shots. He had like 2 bad passes this game though, but he did create a lot of shots. But guys were not making their shots, as you saw. Grimes, 1 for 6 from 3. Quickly won 1 for 7. RJ didn't have a good 3-point shooting night again. He won 1 for 8 from 3. We really lost this game because of 3-point shooting and perimeter defense. And The perimeter defense is a constant trend throughout the whole entire season, and the 3-point shooting as well. Except I do not remember. Guillermo, do you remember the last time we shot 19.5% from three? I swear I have not seen that this season. I feel like this is the lowest.
Uh, no, I don't. I'm trying to think of a really.
Cause I know we shot bad one game when we shot like 50 plus threes, but we didn't
Let
shoot
me
this
see.
bad. Like this was horrible.
There will. I'm not sure if it was this year or last year. This one, I know there was a game where like IQ. It may have been last year. Hold on. Let me just look at the. Let me look at the schedule because I'm pretty sure we had one. But I remember last year there was one where everybody. It was almost similar, but let me see. There definitely has to be one where we shot somewhat close to that, but that was just putrid. Everybody's missing open shots, and they were good looks, but just no one could hit. I mean, there was one where Grimes, I think he shot a three, got the rebound,
Oh, it
and then
was
tried to
great.
shoot it again and then missed.
Yeah,
Like,
my
I
bad.
mean,
I forgot I was muted for a second. No, continue. I was saying that C Max said Guillermo here, man. You just ruined my Monday, bro. See y'all later. Gosh, yo, this dude C Mac is hilarious.
MC Mac, MC Mac, man.
Yeah, nah. But shout out White Falcon. I see you, C Mac. Obviously, Pudge Nice. Just salute to Guillermo, everyone. My son Andrew's in here. Was good. Quiet Money was good. Salute. Um, yeah, no, you could continue. I'm gonna just read through the chat while you talking.
No, it's just I don't remember one as bad. I'm trying to look for some of our most putrid games.
I actually want to see too, cause I don't. I swear there was
Pacers.
one that
Well,
was like
Indiana
really
Pacers
bad in
had
the
the game we
beginning.
scored. Actually, no, well, we won that game, but that's not.
I want to check our.
Let me see. Okay.
I'm gonna also for the chat. I want to actually check because I check this like every while. I want to see our defensive rating.
Raptors 87-90. We lost that game. Not the last game, but
Oh,
we should
the one that RJ shot like
16.
5 for 16
Yeah,
or something like
we
that.
shot 9
We
for
shot
34
horrible
that
that
game.
game. Was it like 18 or something?
9 for 34. So what is that?
Oh, we shot
Divided by
seven
four,
less. We shot
something
seven
percent.
less, but hit one more. So it's not as bad, but it's still really bad. That's horrible. But I'm looking at our defensive rating right now. Where are the Knicks? The Knicks are seventh in points allowed. Not
That's a bit.
good, obviously. Um, Rebounds overall, offensive, and defensive are middle of the pack. But field goals allowed is at 3, and this is because they let so many second chance points. And they sometimes they just look at rebounds and don't go for it. Like there's certain points where I remember there was one during the Raptors game which was really crucial, and Fournier was just looking at the ball as it was falling. But that's just bad. Um, we kind of went down because we were 30th in the league in 3-pointers allowed, but now we're at 23rd, which I'm actually surprised about. I thought we were still at 30. Turnovers 27. Our opponent's field goal percentage is 6th. I mean, it's 3rd. Our opponent 3-point true shooting percentage is 17. Defensive rating is 24th. 28th overall. Wait, am I? Yo, this graph is like so close together. It's 24th overall, so it really isn't the best whatsoever. Um, you see, our defense category in general just keeps going down. No matter what, it's just going down. Um, and I don't know what we can really do that. I mean, we did make a small trade today, but that was just for cap money, like 1.5 million, nothing crazy. But I do still think we need to make a trade for that defensive anchor for the team. Yeah. Shout out Eric Surreal in the chat. I see you. Jason Martino, Yankees all they said what's good, bro. My Knicks family, happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone in the chat.
Happy New
Hope
Year.
hope everyone has a blessed, successful, and healthy year. Samir, salute. Black Mamba, my guy, what's up? What they saying? They said, would Fox really get us over the hump? The thing for me is that Guillermo and a lot of basically that I've been wanting Fox since last season. But I do think I've been watching him. Yesterday he had a solid game, but recently he's been having really bad games since coming back from the protocols. He's been having bad games. He hasn't been playing the best. And Halliburton, obviously, shout out Guillermo because Guillermo did say he was a little on and off with Halliburton. For me, I didn't want Halliburton personally, um, but that's more because I just wanted LaMelo, and that was my only guy I really wanted in that lottery. I didn't care too much about anyone else in the lottery, but Halliburton is making De'Aaron Fox expandable. I see all the Kings fans talking about it. Listen to Zach Lowe podcast, all those other podcasts, Kevin O'Connor, they talking about it as well. How a lot of people are questioning Fox in the league. They don't know. I still think Fox is a really good player, to be honest. I don't know what I would trade. I've seen Knicks fans to say to trade RJ for him. I would not do that. That makes no sense to me personally. I'm not doing that. But there are certain ways you can do that. Yeah, shout out Josh. It did open us a roster spot, and by the way, we did waive right, Guillermo. We waived Wayne Selden, I'm pretty sure as well. Along
Yeah,
with
we
that,
did.
so that's another thing we did. But that was something obvious that was gonna happen. I didn't think he was gonna be here this whole entire time. I don't think anyone really thought that. And I'm pretty sure Daniel House and Dotson did their 10 days expired, right? I think Dotson got his second one. Um, Another one, I think Hall Tyler. I think it was Tyler Hall got his second one, but I don't know about Daniel House yet. I don't think his is over yet. But that's just something to look at. Yeah, Keyshawn. They also drafted Davion. Davion is doing decent too, but I think he's actually in protocols as well right now, or he just came back. But yeah, they're saying I'll still call Washington instead. I still call Washington the Bullets instead of the Wizards. That's funny. Um, That's been the story the whole season. Missed shots and bad perimeter defense. Yeah, Josh. That's why I think we lost this game. 100%. I don't think it was anything crazy. Excess finesse, salute, IQ got to be in the trade. Okay, Guillermo. This is the thing for me. I think we have the same thing in this. If you're the Kings and the Knicks are trying to call you to trade for Fox, why would they want IQ if they have Davion and Halliburton? What will give them the reason to have that? Is it for IQ to come off the bench and then they start Halliburton next to Mitchell and then have IQ off the bench? Like, what would you think they would be thinking in that sense?
What do you mean that they wouldn't want, like, if we try to offer them IQ,
Yeah, I feel like if I'm the
that
Kings,
wouldn't be nearly enough, bro. Like,
no, no,
or
not
like
just IQ. I'm saying if it's like
as a
surrounded
centerpiece of
around
the trade.
IQ in a sense. Yeah,
Excuse me. They have Halliburton, they have Davion, they have Hill as a shooter. Am I missing anybody else? They still have
Halliburton, Mitchell, Harrison Barnes, Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley. They're starting to play again. They have Holmes,
no, it's
Terrence
not that. They said
Davis.
guards. They said guards. They said guards. I'm thinking like don't they have, they still have that light skinned dude
Let me
not
check.
Trey
Let me
Jones.
check their roster real quick.
The one with the braids. What the hell is this guy's name?
Let's see. Nate. Okay, wait. You said guards, right?
Mason. They still have Mason.
They have Ramsey, Jemias Ramsey. They don't play him.
Oh yeah, the shooter. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
don't play
Nice
him.
Ramsey,
Yeah,
Texas
they
Tech.
have guard wise. They have Tyrese, De'Aaron Fox, Terrence Davis, Davion Mitchell, Ramsey, Buddy Hield. That's it for the guards. For what's listed here on the team roster. Y'all want Fox? Obi is gone. Simple.
I mean, the funniest thing, a person that could fit their team if he wasn't didn't take a turn this season would probably have been Randall.
Yeah.
Get him an actual big who can control the flow of the offense. That could be a presence in the paint. You can still run Rashawn Holmes. I mean, but Rashawn was like 6'9", so you be playing small. Say they traded Bagley somehow, got rid of Bagley. I mean, I don't think Namus Quaid is ready to take the mantle, but Randall would actually probably fit that team. But I don't think they would make that trade now. They could get a better package elsewhere. So unless you give them like a crap load of picks, I don't know. I don't know how you entice the Kings.
To be honest, I don't know either. To be honest, because I'm not trading RJ for Fox. Just being honest.
Who are you trading RJ for?
Okay,
The
wait.
worst
Would
team?
you trade RJ for Fox?
No, I'd trade RJ for
Exactly.
Jaylen Brown though. No. But I'm
I
saying
mean, you
who?
could say that. I mean, I said I realistic for me. I don't want to trade him, but I mean that's a realistic one. that you could trade RJ for Jaylen Brown. That's realistic. But the Fox one, you can't tell me that's realistic. I would not do that. Salute to Duke in chat. Slam dunk that like winning. Yeah, shout out to Justin L and Paris Duggar. Salute. Yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button. We got 30 people in here, 18 likes. Let's try to get it up real quick. Subscribe to as well if you haven't already. Turn that notification bell on. I meant that like OB, but he's gone. They'll ask for him. Okay, interesting. I don't know. We'll talk about OB and stuff a little later. But yeah, the Fox, I don't know. I just don't know how we get him at this point, to be honest. His value, do you think his value went down?
Yeah.
How much do you
I
think?
think
Like
it went
last year,
down
I think
somewhat.
his trade value was crazy because he was like 25, like 4, and like 7. Even though the team was trash, but like he has regressed this year.
Anytime a team makes an explicit desire to draft your replacement, and then that replacement not only look good in the minutes they got, but now they're looking good in the minutes they get him because you're out. And then you have the media, because it's not necessarily about what he can provide, it's about perceived market value, right? And you got all these outlets kind of like in a concerted effort. Not to say they bury his name, but they're all, oh, Fox, a few weeks ago, oh, is Fox overrated? Oh, he might not be as good as blah, blah, blah. I mean, he's been playing the same way for you. And I know you have to fulfill potential and stuff, but people don't take into account how bad the Kings are. Like how bad of an organization the Kings are. How much that can be a drain on, even though you should be trying to get better and improve each and every day. Because it's like, let me ask you this. Okay, so De'Aaron Fox's value has Ben Simmons? Because some people still talk about Ben Simmons' value very glowingly. Like they make it seem like, yo, you got to trade this and that. Remember a few weeks, like maybe a few months ago, they were saying there's a rumors of the Celtics trading Jaylen Brown for Ben
For Ben
Simmons,
Simmons,
but
yeah.
they were saying the Celtics would have to give up picks and Jaylen Brown for Ben Simmons. Like, are you out of your mind? I would give up picks and Jaylen Brown for Ben.
No,
It
I
should be the
wouldn't.
other way around.
I've been on this agenda, and I already told you this that I personally think Jaylen Brown is better than Tatum, and that's my
Right.
opinion, and that's
Oh,
because he's also all around, as an all around player, because he plays defense. You know what I mean? Like he plays defense. He has his own offense. He knows how to do whatever
I
you need him
agree.
to do.
I
That's
love
just my
Jaylen Brown,
personal
bro.
opinion. That's my
But
personal
that's
opinion.
that's the thing is like De'Aaron Fox is like, I think he is what he is for the most part. I think he could probably improve his 3-point shooting a little bit. But I think his production on a team that's guard needy and that has a better direction than the Kings, I think he'd be, I wouldn't say elite, but he'd be a quasi elite guard if he went to a better team that could better utilize him. Because that Kings team, bro, they are, I don't know where the hell they're going. They have some talent, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Basically, let me see what are they saying. Frederick salute. Frederick said Ben Simmons got wifed up. Yeah, no, I saw that too. Shout out to him. Diego, my guy. What's good, Diego? That's my guy right there. Bagley is probably leaving the Kings next year. I do think that he is gonna get traded. He's been wanting out. Him and his dad have been praying for that for like 2-3 years. To be honest, like that's something that might most likely happen sooner or later. Steven, what's good? It's my guy as well. Yeah, let me know. Let me know if you guys would do the Fox trade and what would you guys would simply give up. I think I saw someone put a trade in the chat. Fox IQ draft picks. They said they'll ask for Obi. Okay. If y'all want Fox, Obi's out. Keyshawn the hater. Now Keyshawn was just giving a trade. Okay, so Keyshawn said this. He said Obi, Burks, Kemba, and 2 first-round picks in a second. You see, I don't think that's. Do you think that's where his value is at right now? I feel like they could get better than that. Obi, Burks, Kemba, 2 first-rounders in a second, and that does kind of match his contract too at the same time. They might want a little more for that. Trade Randall Noel Burks for PG-13. I would love to get PG-13, but he is not coming to New York whatsoever. But Guillermo, what do you blame for this loss? Like, what exactly can you blame? Because some people are blaming, cause they're saying just because Randall didn't play this game, if Randall played, we would have won this game easily. Like, how do you feel?
About I'm sorry, which one? The Raptors loss or?
Mm-hmm. No. The OKC one.
OKC. Okay, my bad. I mean, missed shots. There were a few pick and pop plays we didn't stop. Where both our bigs and the guy who's the guard who was trying to recover, both over
Ty Jerome,
played into the
especially.
screen.
Ty Jerome, Mike Muscala. Too many
Into
second chance rebounds.
Yeah, they fed into the screen game way too much. Allowed Mike Muscala to hit some shots from the top of the key. Excuse me. What else? What else? What else? What else? Like I said, no one else can hit. I mean, literally, the biggest thing is just no one else can hit. If you hit a few more threes, it's a game. I know it got out of hand. We lost by 15, but
Yeah, we lost by
the
15.
game
It
was
was
still in balance at 74-71. Then Ty Jerome got the long rebound. Like, was it Ty Jerome whoever hit the three?
Guillermo, no matter what, this game was like the highest was like within 15. Like actually, let me go back to the page where it says what the highest lead was for OKC. The highest lead for them was 17. But we were like in the third quarter coming into the fourth, there was still like we were still in the game. Like there was no like they were up 17 and then we came back, right? We were down like 8 and then we let them get the lead back up to like 17-15 again. We could have won this game. It was just bad decision making, bad defense, bad offense. Like just can't make threes. Like when you can't make threes, we're most likely gonna lose the game, especially when you shoot 8 for 41. Nobody could control that besides the players who are shooting the ball easily. Okay, Black Mamba asked this. Shea's a killer for sure. Quick question: would you give up RJ for Shea? Just asking. No, I'm not doing that.
Would you give up RJ for KD?
I mean, that's an obvious one, but the thing is, why would they do it?
No, Hadouken.
I said yes. I said yes. But the thing that I asked is, why would they do it? That's why I asked for realistic ones. That's like, that's not realistic. Shea a killer. No, I wouldn't trade RJ for him. I would want to pair RJ and Shea. Do you agree with me, Guillermo? Like, I would trade Randall for him easily. And that's not because I hate Randall, but that's because it would make more sense for me to pair them together.
Would I trade RJ for SGA?
I would not. It wouldn't make sense for them either, to be honest. Why would they do that? That would make no sense.
No. But that's not the question, Hadouken. If you had the opportunity at SGA, but you had to trade RJ, obviously you have to trade some other stuff too. But would you trade RJ for SGA?
No, I wouldn't. I personally, I would not do that. Actually, I don't think OKC will want RJ. So I would.
RJ,
I wouldn't think they would want him either.
RJ Barrett, I know you're busy. If you are listening, this dude is your greatest fan, and I don't mean that in some disrespectful way. RJ, I don't know if you sign autographs or whatever, blah blah. If somehow this gets you, RJ, you better hook my dude up, Hadouken, with something, signed gear, tickets, something. Because as much as I like RJ's potential and what he offers right now, I'm trading RJ for SGA. I'm sorry, I like RJ a lot, but if I get SGA and I'm not giving up the whole farm and pick shots up in some hypothetical situation, I'm pulling that trade, man. Hadouken, come on, bro.
No, I wouldn't. Wait, you said J Boogie was begging for the link. You ain't dropped the link. Where did J Boogie beg for the link? I didn't even see him type. What? I'll drop the link, but I did not see him type at all. Let me drop it. No, Guillermo, I wouldn't do it, but I mean that's just me. But that's also me not thinking of just trading for a trade. I'm thinking of like an actual team based thing. I don't know. I just don't think that would be I don't see the point of doing that, to be honest.
You're talking about getting a top. You could argue as a top 10 guard in the league who's putting up numbers on a young developing team. Like we have, and look, this does not mean not like an RJ, but you have to be realistic. Like, is RJ going to be top 10 at his position in this league? Probably not. And that's fine. Like, he doesn't have to be stand out in his team. But you talk about SGA being a top 10 guard in this league, a guy that if you had even a play, say Randall's not even there, but say you had a play like Randall, and he could command the ball, control the offense, attack teams. Like, teams have to think about this, right? There's no disrespect to RJ. You know, RJ's my guy, right? But We don't have a player on this team, even in Randall, that other teams literally game plan around where it's like, you know what? He's going to score 30 points tonight. We got to stop everybody else. He's going to do whatever he wants tonight. That's fine. You got to stop everybody else. And obviously, SGA is struggling with a shooting from the outside, shooting like 28%, low 40s from the field, right? But you're still talking about a guy who, on any given night, can take your best defenders and your best wing defenders and abuse them. You know what I mean? So, to me, look, RJ's my guy, but SGA, yeah, I'm making that trade. Jaylen Brown, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you could say the Jaylen Brown. I don't care, but Josh said if the argument is Randall takes the ball out of RJ's hand, what would SGA do? SGA and Randall are completely
two different positions.
You can't just because someone is a point guard doesn't mean that they're gonna do the same exact thing that Randall does. Randall holds the ball.
Well, here's
SGA actually knows where to pass the ball in certain areas, and he's not selfish. Like, and he's on a trash team, so you can't even say anything like that. It's not the same thing at all. He would actually give it to RJ. Those are two different things. So no, stop. No.
Well, Lord Jesus. When they play, when these guys play together, that OKC lineup play together. Remember when they played with Dennis Schroeder, Chris Paul, SGA?
Yeah.
That lineup at one point had the highest net rating in the NBA. Had the highest net rating. And you're talking about three guards at sometimes would play all three together. So to me, the thing you're talking about a guard who knows how to get it to his other play, like SGA and Randall should not be compared because they're not.
Apparently, I'm missing the point. What point am I missing? You said what would you literally just said what would SGA do? What I don't know what you're trying to say. Oh, GI, I got you, GI. Give me a second. What's good, GI? Let me put on the stream.
What's good, fellas, man? What's good, fellas?
How you doing, GI?
Salute.
What up? What's wrong with Gmo? Why he quiet? You got him twisted?
He's sick.
I'm a little under the weather.
Yeah, he's under the weather the last few days.
Oh, I would have came over and did the stream.
The way he said.
Yo, I'm gonna fight this dude when I see him, bro.
The way you said. That's funny.
Yo, man, screw Gianni. You talk all this trash for your Cowboys, bro. You serious?
Roll the Charmin tank.
Listen.
And I was rooting for you guys, bro.
Listen, did y'all lose the game on the last
all
play
right,
of the game?
All right. Let's
I don't understand every week. Like, hey, how you do this? Bro?
I mean, GI, it's kind of good for them. I told Guillermo they're gonna get a better pick like that. It's better for them.
Get a better draft.
Brady.
Guillermo, but at least you guys, Guillermo, you guys at least were up against the Bucks, and you made Antonio Brown leave the game mid-game, and you got a better pick. Like, I'll be fine with that. To be honest, that's a better thing.
I thought I was trying to send my Uber drivers. I was sending my Uber boys. I was like, yo, go hang around the Met. You might catch Antonio Brown being the ride.
Yeah, I saw a picture going around there like, yo, Antonio Brown waiting for his ride. Yo, nah.
I was telling him, I said, listen, if somebody need a random ride in the parking lot in the Met, yo, you got an 80% chance that that's Antonio Brown, yo, unless somebody's car broke down.
Bro, no, that's funny. Our young core will be fine. They're just still getting used to playing without the black hole that is Julius Randle. It's time to focus on a high draft pick. The Knicks are a lottery team.
Haduken, you gotta admit, the only thing that you have to admit.
What's up?
Is that you have to now give Randall some excuse for why he does what he does. I don't believe that Randall is doing this because he 100% wants to. Now,
I agree. I agree with that.
There's a lot of necessity, and y'all say what y'all want, and y'all. I was a little punk on this one. I wasn't a punk on the Charmin tank. Y'all know I've been telling y'all give this season up months ago.
Yeah, that is true.
There's nothing from it. But I will say I was a punk in saying this. Yo, LP made Randall better, and I know that's not what y'all want to hear.
Oh,
I know nobody wants to hear.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Listen. Elf LP made Randall more efficient player because guess what Randall knew? Let me go where I want to go without the ball. I don't gotta wait too long. LP gonna bring it to me. He gonna bring me the ball. So Randall would go to different spots. Well, LP would they give him the ball and then set a little BS screen and go to move away because you knew he's moving away from the ball. It gave Randall options. Now everybody's standing around and saying, "Okay, Randall, what you gonna do with it?" He's not playing with no one else. Him and Fournier, I'm telling you, there's no question that when they sat down and said, "Okay, this is the roster," Randall and Fournier are gonna have to create for each other because we saw a lot of it. I don't know if it was Spanish pick and roll. Y'all know I'm not fancy with the terminologies. I'm not really the X and O's, but all I know is Fournier used to run to Randall, set a pick, or Randall used to run to Fournier, and then the other one would roll, and Gmo was right after a while, and it was just them two. Pick and pops with just them two, and then after the ball went back and forth a couple times, next thing you know, Fournier was standing in the corner for wide open threes, and he's in rhythm because he's doing something. He ain't just standing around waiting to catch and shoot. Because, Gmo, you played the game at a high level, bro. Can you tell people how hard it is just to stand around and wonder when you're going to catch the ball and shoot it? That's not it. No one's going to shoot a high percentage. That's what made Denny Green special when he was doing it. Who's the other guy? Big Shot Bob, right? Robert Ory, right? Because these guys, Ray Allen, because these guys were able to not be a part of the offense, but when the play broke down, they had no problem taking big shots off the catch and shoot. And they were efficient for their teams on defense. That's when that player is most important. It ain't the catch and shoot guy through the flow of the offense all game. It's down the stretch when they go to double team your guy at the last split second. He got to kick it to somebody to heave up a shot. You want that to be one of these guys that specializes in that. RJ's not a catch and shoot guy. You're not gonna turn RJ to man. Let me tell you something. I got to give y'all this. When RJ went out there by himself the other day and they started saying Lou Dort this, I said, "Oh no, RJ's in trouble." Now RJ went out there and took them boys to the hole. Let me tell you something, man. I ain't never seen. I was like, "Oh, this would be a day." I look like I'm a punk not being on the link with Gmo today. Man, RJ took that ball, guys. RJ went to the hole. He didn't hesitate. He was decisive. I'll be honest. I said, God damn it. If I have one thing for Randall to come back, if I'm Randall, I'm grabbing Tibbs and I'm grabbing RJ and I'm saying, yo, Tibbs, you got to make sure RJ does that at least 6 or 7 times a game. And let me know when it's going to happen.
Go ahead. You crazy, bro. Go ahead. You my God. But you crazy. You really think that Randall comes back and demands that action all the time? You understand a lot of times, or a few of the times when RJ actually ran that pick and roll where guys were in the court, guys were far spaced out. RJ at the top of the key to set it. He signaled to Mitchell Robinson to come from the low block and set the pick. Look where everybody else was. Randall this year, even when Kemba's in there against the Hawks, when Kemba had freaking John Collins on the ropes, was abusing him. This dude Randall stood at the top of the key to ask for a high post up against, I don't remember who it was that missed the shot. Randall he does not have a strong idea of fluid basketball. Now, when Kemba was hot in that game where he scored whatever 40 and Randall kind of conceded, it was obvious. Let Kemba cook. Don't give me the ball. But night in, night out.
Yeah, but even then he stood out around the top of the key.
Say it again. Sorry.
Even that day he stood out around the top of the key.
Who, Randall? Oh, against Kemba. So, hey, you're calling it yourselves. I just remember when I think they're trying to get him one point down low, and then he waved him off to say no, keep going to Kemba, and Kemba hit like a 3 or something like that. But Randall struggles with that because think about this, GI. Why the hell aren't 2 of the strongest players on the Knicks team running pick and roll? RJ and Randall should be running pick and roll ad nauseum, bro.
Bro, we've been asking this for 2 years, and it's like it hasn't. I think I only saw it happen once, and it was a give and go with that Randall gave to RJ, and it actually worked. It was once this year.
I don't remember the team. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was this year. Yeah, he went up for a dunk
on the left side. Got the quick pass from RJ. They try to double Randall, and then Randall threw it right back to RJ as just rolling to the basket for the layup. And I'm like, and I said this on my show. I was like, yo, bro, why don't they run this all the freaking time?
Bro.
Like, You're talking about two powerful. Okay, Gi, bro, tell me who in the league. Like when you talk about the elite teams, the Bucks, all these teams that have size on them paws that can defend that, fair enough. But you tell me these smaller teams, like you watch OKC, your big man Roby was playing drop coverage all night. Your boy Ty Jerome played good defense, but let's be honest, Ty Jerome on any given night is not stopping the top guards in the
hell
league.
no.
You could run that pick and roll against most teams in the league and beat the majority of teams. And you know who's going to benefit from it? Fournier, Grimes, all these 3-point shooters we could just put on the outside. RJ Randall, or even RJ Mitch, RJ Randall. Just keep switching between the two and have Randall play on the outside when RJ and Mitch are running it. You think Randall's asking for that, or is Randall asking for the ball in the post up, draw the double team, and then maybe shoot a fadeaway shot or pass it to somebody who's hopefully open? Nah, man, Randall. Look. I said on my
So
show.
you're
Man,
proving.
So
you're proving that Randall.
That,
so you're proving that Randall is holding RJ back. Then
it's not just bro. It's not just RJ. It's not. Look, it's Randall and Tibbs because Tibbs can enforce it. He can take out Randall and say, "Yo, bro, you ain't running pick and roll. You shouldn't." Because that second Pacers game, I don't care what no one says. Randall ran the pick and roll 30 billion times, and that's how we beat that Pacers team, bro. And I'm like, yo, bro, Fournier was getting a roll to the back, open shots from the basket because Randall was actually rolling, so the defense had to count for Randall. And I'm like, yo, Randall is like if you give him the instructions to do it, he'll do it for one game. But it's like you can't carry it consistently. So, Randall, I don't want to say it's just him holding back RJ. It's him holding back a consistency within that we can have in the offense. Do we truly have a foundation in this offense when you look at it?
We don't. Yeah, but that's because you don't have a point guard that you could trust night in, night out. About the bottom line is, while yes, you want a lot of movement on offense, the ball doesn't move very well in the NBA. There's maybe 4 or 5 teams that are elite at moving the ball in the NBA. Other teams have people that they can trust with the ball for 10 seconds in the shot clock, and they move bodies.
And they know what play is going to happen.
And then what happens in the movement of bodies, in fact, they play more football because then there's lead passes. So as they set the pick and set the action off the pick, the player starts rolling a certain way and the ball comes out a certain way like a swing pass. It comes out like a down and out. The ball is coming out and the player's getting it in rhythm. And players' bodies have to move. And that's the only way the Knicks are going to get. We're not going to be able to move the ball. The bodies have to move for the Knicks. And people stand around, man. It's been years and years where 60% of our offense every game is one guy dribbling the ball, and we've never had that elite on-ball player. We've never had a top 10 on-ball player in the NBA almost ever, since I think Latrell Sprewell might have been probably the last elite on-ball player. And even he struggled. He struggled in the half court at times. At time, he really struggled in the half court.
All right, so Gi, how about this? If they're having that type of trouble, right? So, because like for instance, the Heat didn't really have a point guard last year. Their so-called point guard was Jimmy Butler, right? So, but obviously Jimmy Butler's a high IQ player.
They had Dragic too.
He
was hurt a lot, though. He was hurt a lot.
He was hurt a lot, but
yeah. I right. But yeah, I mean, their key player, their key playmaker was that, right? So you don't need, like, when you don't have elite players, that's where running plays. Not to say you sit there and call them out every play. That's where running plays and having a so-called foundation say, look, whichever player's in there, we're going to run this blah, blah. Look at what the Nets did a few years ago. Even though they had D'Angelo Russell, when they went to the playoffs, they had freaking Spencer Dinwiddie. He was still, I don't say unknown, but he wasn't what we know of Spencer Dinwiddie today. And what they run with Atkinson, pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll, right? Until you stop it. And obviously, that one game we did where we set some record against some defensive. I forgot what it was exactly. But, yeah, I mean, we don't have that. With even our, like, IQ and all these other guys, and if we ran the pick and roll, because you'd have to set better screens. We don't have a discipline of good screens on this team, man. Todd's the only guy that sets screens. Randall doesn't set screens consistently or properly for the most part. Mitch, I mean, his screens are
on and off.
basura for the most
Yeah.
part. Let's be
And
honest.
even if he sets a screen, what's he gonna do out of it? He's not gonna do nothing out of the screen.
Yeah, he's
so
just
you need
gonna.
somebody setting screens and do something.
He runs
And
to
just
the
run,
rim, but
he
he doesn't get
runs,
the
and
pass a lot either.
it knows it well.
He doesn't
Like,
catch well.
Yeah.
let's not even
You
bring
know,
that up.
Gmo. But again, what you did miss in what you said, yes. While Jimmy Butler's not a point guard, you can trust that he can have the ball in his hands. This is my number. If you guys tell me I'm wrong, at the end of the day, you can't run plays every time down. It's just impossible. You know, Gmo, heck, especially if you want to run the same play, defense starts cheating.
I agree.
End of the day, you need to have a player who you trust can have the ball in his hand for 10 seconds and something good will happen. Not just a shot, too. The ability to pass, shoot, and dribble. We don't have enough players on our team with high. In fact, we have no players on our team with high IQs that pass, shoot, and dribble. Our best pass, shoot, and dribble player is Randall, and he has the lowest IQ in any of almost any starter in the NBA, especially any starter of his caliber. We just don't have enough talent to when the play breaks down or when there is no plays. Look at how many times we count bad possessions, how many times we count empty possessions, turnovers, and then forget the missed shots on top of that. And I don't think we miss. In fact, we don't. We shoot. We're one of the best 3-point shooting team in the league, 2 years in a row. So when we get good shots, we're shooting a good percentage like every other team. It's just we have too many mistakes during the course of the game. And you cannot keep recovering from mistakes. You can't rebound enough to cover from
But here's
mistakes.
the thing, GI, right? It's like we shoot ourselves in the foot when we say some things like that, where it's like, yo, if we do this, the other team will adjust. Well, let's get to that point. Because we probably would have won a few games if we had that foundation. We probably would have won a few more games just having some type of offense that everybody can go to, right? Like Tom Thibodeau in this preseason. This is why I was so me and Tobaz all the time. The things that the Knicks were running this preseason, I said, yo, what the hell is this? Guys were setting screens off the ball for each other. The movement in I said, yo, what is this? Like, this is not the Knicks I saw even from last season. Like, this is a different Knicks. And all that just went out the window once we went back to the so-called Randall centric offense. You saw little spurts of it here and there, but I don't know. I just feel like Tom Thibodeau, he panics and he relies more on individual players versus the system. And here's a credit I'll give him. A lot of coaches in the league have gotten fired because they believe in the system more than the players, right? Like new coaches coming in, they sometimes talk to they treat players a certain way, even that's a little bit different, or I mean, like they basically just run my system. I don't care who the best player is on this team, and sometimes I marginalize the best player, and then if they don't win, then they get fired, right? So I understand where Tom Thibodeau is coming from, but in this situation, you don't really have players who by themselves can carry this team. And I mean, like, I could just put the ball in his hands. Everybody shoots 8 for, what is it against the OKC? 8 for 41?
8 for 41, yeah.
8 for 41, but Paul George is going to give me 45 tonight. Like, everybody can take a night off. Okay, yeah, it was bad, whatever. Like, people are struggling, people are sick or whatever, or people are tired. Paul George can carry us. We got it. We good tonight. Just this one night. And next time, I mean? So,
yeah, like last year with Randall, you knew like certain games he was gonna get 30. Like you just knew it.
Yeah, there were certain games he was, and that's the thing about it's like Randall was giving you such a mirage with that because I never thought he was an elite ISO player. I just think he got really hot. But then maybe there was a foundation there, and he's regressed. Like his decision making has regressed. You know what I mean? So I don't want to I see what Tibbs is trying to work with, but it's like in this situation I think you have to implement more of the system, bro. Like Tibbs, Randall can't do it, RJ can't do it, Derrick Rose can't do it. He's freaking 33 with a bad ankle. I mean, it's like
So here's the problem you have. The problem you have is Tibbs didn't use car salesman. He did say, I'm learning from my past experiences because that's the question the media asked him. There's not an intelligent man in America that's not going to tell you he learned from past experiences in the back of their mind. Like, yeah, I'm about to show you. Right? The problem you have a bunch of problems with Tibbs. He's coming off being the NBA coach of the year. it's impossible to convince him, and you couldn't intelligently convince him that his style doesn't work when he just got elected by his peers and he took less talent.
Yeah.
But you're in a. Give me a second, just one
No,
quick
no, you got
second,
it.
dude, because y'all gonna step on this. Y'all gonna destroy this, but I gotta set it up for you, right? All right. Um, it's all gonna come. It all comes down to Leon Rose. If Leon Rose put, obviously the strength of the Knicks is the depth. We are, that is one thing none of the three of us missed in analyzing. Once this roster was set, we said, all right, we got depth because we could go to Quickly. Quickly's coming off the bench. And Quickly came off the bench last year and helped lead us to it. Without Quickly coming off the bench, we don't get number 4 seed last year. So you had confidence in that. Y'all like another year Obi, and Obi off the bench. So you didn't increase his role. RJ working with, who's his name? Chris Brinkley? Who's his name? Chris Henson?
Drew Hanlon.
Drew Henson, Drew Hanlon.
Yeah.
RJ working with Drew Hanlon, he gonna turn that corner. Julius, we don't need him to be anything but what he was last year. It wasn't unreasonable to think he could be right, but it's in the depth. But your depth helped you where when you knew if anybody didn't think the first 6 games, if Kemba Walker could go out there and play 36 minutes, he was gonna play him. If Randall could play 36 minutes, he's going to play him. RJ. So then where's your depth? If Rose is saying the strength of this franchise that I'm the president of is in the depth, then how the hell can he say that Tibbs is his coach and Tibbs has historically played his best players that he has the confidence in 32 plus minutes a game? There's only 48. How are you capitalizing on your depth when you won't even give them 60% of the minutes?
So, all right, my initial, like, I do think you could put blame on Tibbs because I think personally he's lost us a few games because rotation wise and just the certain things he's ran throughout the games, but I don't think it's more of his style of play. I just think sometimes during the games he just doesn't run plays, maybe because there's some times when he tries to run plays, Randall waves it off, or they can't get in the correct set, and things of that nature. But I think just like you, I agree with you about the Leon Rose thing. They did not obviously do a good job of getting players on the team that will actually help us reach another level, or at least balance out what we did last year. Like I said, like Evan is not playing the best. You were talking about the screen and pop threes that Randall does all the time, and that's what he did with Reggie Bullock last year. Nothing different from that, but especially this year, like he forces it so much that the team's defense knows exactly what it is, and they keep resetting it instead of going to another play. Keep resetting it, then it turns into a turnover, a bad play. And then my question to you is, who are those players? You were talking about the depth. Who are those players that you want to see play more? And another thing to it is that I feel like without Derrick Rose, the bench is just like it gets worse, especially with Derrick Rose out. I feel like he's just too big of a part of that backup.
It's empty, bro. Like the depth. Here's the thing, man. And to the point, like Leon Rose did a bad job. I'm sorry, of so-called building this team, man. I'm tired of looking around the league and seeing the guys we could have drafted or we could have signed that would have been perfect for this team. Now, I'm not saying that I suggested him first. I didn't suggest Caruso. That was Coach Colorblocks, and obviously other people go to him too.
Give me Josh Hart. Give me Josh Hart. Who I wanted.
I wasn't the biggest fan of giving the first two.
You guys wanted Kelly Oubre. You could have gotten Kelly Oubre for 10 mil.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just like
there's so many players.
There's so many players you could have.
Oh my God! Do you know how good we would be with Josh Hart? Do y'all know how good we would be?
I feel like I was one of the first ones to bring it up, and everyone started going crazy.
I love Josh Hart, but I like.
Well, I just didn't think it was possible to get him, but I'm in. Well, we're all in the Northeast
until this year.
But I watched him. I watched him at Villanova. He was special.
Yo, he was praising Tibbs. Him and Lowry were praising Tibbs in the offseason before anybody signed anything. But we didn't get anything.
They don't got the connections people think they got, bro.
Listen. So then, what is World Wide West? Why
you tell me
why
Worldwide
Tell
West,
me why
Worldwide Waste.
Say, and it was absolutely sold as these guys have conversations before the conversations. And Kawhi's uncle was the one that kept popping up. Remember, Kawhi's uncle was talking to Worldwide West before he was talking to the Spurs. We Worldwide West knew he was going to the Clippers. So these connections were supposed to help us. The brothers in the back drinking the expensive champagne and eating the caviar. I mean, he is. I mean, these guys are taking Dolan for a ride once again because Dolan should not be paying for 3 years. For 3 years, and he don't see the fruits of his labor. He's not gonna do. That's not how. That's not how he thinks. That's not how he's spending daddy's money. And I'm not knocking on Dolan, but he's not gonna be patient. You're not patient when you're playing with other people's money. And that's what Dolan is. He basically plays with other people's money. He's not going to be patient. It's about results. This is New York City. Ain't nothing soft, cushy here. You either get it done or you get lost.
People saying we just helped the Lakers with $4 million.
That's the thing, though.
No, we got cap space. And
we got like $1.5 million. $1.5 million.
And don't forget we could cut. I think we could cut this guy.
We already cut him. We cut Denzel Valentine, and we cut Wayne Selden. So we have a roster spot right now.
Right.
And that roster spot should go to a center. They should pick up a center on a 10-day. I don't know what they're doing right now. They're picking up 6'2" guys. Don't need guards. We need a center on a contract, bro. 10-day. Sign him up.
Daniel Toro, who was drafted by the Knicks initially 2 years ago.
Yo, that was so stupid. Oh my god. Yo, that was still stupid to me to trade him. That for cash. Even though he's not crazy good, but you could have just seen what he was. He was just coming out the draft.
Well, the fact that you have all these guards and none of them make you better players. That's none of them makes your team better. That's criminal. And then you get one injury on the front court. You got one player shaky so he can't eat a lot of minutes. And now you're thin at two of the most important positions on the floor, the center and the point guard. You have undersized wings. Guys, tell me what is good about this? What is good about the only thing good about this contract is you got RJ who can come out at nights and look really good on a rookie contract. That's important. You have Julius Randle on a sweetheart deal. That's important. You can't think of anything else good on this. You can't say Fournier being on this team is good. Team is good.
48.
Oh, Obi. Wow. You got Obi. You got Obi who has flashes, but unfortunately, your superstar player is in his position. So and your superstar player is so important to you getting anything done.
It always goes back to the draft. Always goes back.
This
to the
team
draft.
is that's it. So I'm gonna say this before I let Spree get busy. Spree, what's going on?
Yes,
Let me say this before I yield the floor.
What's good, Keyshawn?
If in my lifetime, Keyshawn, what's good, baby?
Salute.
If in my lifetime I don't see a championship, I got to do more research. But the Pat Ewing finger roll comes up to play. The Charles Smith not finishing at the rim, 6'10", playing 6'4" at the rim.
Oh Lord.
That's going to be big. The 99 team I have to enjoy. I can't say that team should have won a championship. That team shouldn't have been in the championship. It was an 8 seed. So I can't be mad at anything there. Michael Jordan will be a problem for me if I don't get a championship in my lifetime. And then I got to start with drafts. The first one I remember is, first of all, never being deep in the lottery, one of the worst teams in the NBA. Oh, the year they changed the rule, we were the worst team in the league, but we ended up with the number 3 pick. Who knows? We would have only had to get we could only get Ja in that draft, but who knows? Maybe we get Ja, You talk about not drafting Donovan Mitchell. Could you imagine if Donovan Mitchell was on this team?
Over some sushi. Phil Jackson is crazy, bro.
Yes. Kevin Knox. If we get any of those wing players that's 6'9" that can go out there and play defense, because they were all 6'9", right? That we was looking at drafted. But Kevin Knox, we can't even send Kevin Knox out there to play
4 out of 5 of the next players after Kevin Knox were at least starters that are good.
Exactly.
And I mean, I will
Exactly.
also
So
say that player development has a lot to do with it because, as you can see, our player development sucks and it's has sucked for so long. That has a big thing to do with it because even if we did draft them, I do think they would have probably been better than Knox either way. But just in general, the developmental aspect, I don't think any of them would have been as good as they are on these other teams they're at right now because they just deal with their players so much better than we have. Um, and then the RJ one, I'm fine with the RJ one. I don't care no matter what. He was the pick at 3 for me. It doesn't matter to me. But the one that does probably hurt the most recently is the Obi one because shout out to Chuck because I was listening to Freezy's earlier and he said the same thing. We've been saying this for a long time. It's detrimental to pick Obi and not trade Randall because you basically picked Obi for no reason. It just doesn't, it continuously doesn't make sense to me because when people say, oh no, but if you picked Tyrese, he would have been, or like another guard, he would have been sitting behind Alfred Payton. Obi was behind Randall, so you basically picked a role player instead of picking someone who could have easily been your starter throughout the middle of the season. He would have probably beat out Alfred Payton, show something, and he could have easily been your starter. So that's two different things. That's why I really don't that draft right there also killed us. Sincerely, and not trading
thank you
Randall in
for
that
helping me,
situation just
dude.
hurt. I don't understand it. It's just bad. The Frank one, Frank is. I mean, he's doing whatever in the Mavs right now. He's no matter what, he's gonna be a okay player. Josh, it doesn't matter who he traded Randall for. I don't care who he would have traded Randall for at that point. That was when he didn't have that much value. But that's talking about the draft because you waste a draft pick instead of getting someone who's actually valuable. Like look at Halliburton right now. Even though that's a different situation, the Kings are not a good team. They have been trashed for so long. Um, it's just hard to
Josh
look
is
at.
Josh is one of the last people that I really respect that's still supporting Randall. And my response to Josh, I think, would be this: how many teams that are championship contenders that started with giving a power forward with limited IQ? Because I'm gonna say Randall. You know what? Randall has all the other goods. He just doesn't. He doesn't make. It's evident he doesn't make people around him better. We've given him many opportunities. Shit, the first year we were ready to get rid of him. Second year we figured out how to make other guys play better around him, but not necessarily make them better. So how many teams start their franchise off with their cornerstone giving a power forward who doesn't make people better $100 million? That's gonna be Randall's. That's gonna be Randall's shortcomings. Not his fault, but it's gonna be his shortcoming. If Rose doesn't get Randall, Leon Rose doesn't get Randall some help, his tenure will look much worse than the Carmelo Anthony $100 million years. Much worse. Much
So,
worse.
Knicks Nation salutes to Knicks Nation Wintle. He said Obi was not behind Randall. Front office was moving on from Randall, but Tibbs hitch is to his wagon to Randall. Now we are here. If we would have tanked, we would have been better off today. I do agree with that. I feel like our roster would have easily been we wouldn't have been a winning team, but I definitely do think our core of players would have easily been better than it is right now. 100%. 100%. But I do that's why I say you can't trade Obi, you can't draft Obi and not trade Randall cuz then that's a waste of a pick. No matter if they didn't think about it before, they should have because that's what you do during the off season. This is the whole entire off season you're talking about. They could have easily done that. It really doesn't make sense. 100 mil is not that much relatively speaking. I mean, Randall, I don't know. You could say that, but Randall is. It's actually 117, but that's with bonuses, but still.
And you know what? It is. And for Randall, I'm going to call it a sweetheart deal. The
Yeah.
problem, what I'm saying to Josh, is this because that wasn't the response to what I'm suggesting is the problem. The problem is that's the first $100 million contract you gave out. And so now what are you going to put with him? Because then you went and took your other max, you went and broke up into 3 players. You took your next max salary because we said we had room for 2 maxes, right? We took
Yeah.
one max and gave it to Randall, which isn't really a max, but it's sure enough
Yeah.
close to where you could. The second match, you said, I'm going to break up and go get Rose, Burks, Fournier, and Noel. So now those are the 5 players you had the most free agents money in the history of the organization. Your money went to Randall, Rose, Fournier, Burks, and what did I say? Randall and
Yeah.
who? And Kim. Oh, well, now Kimba wasn't. He was a throw-in. Remember, after the fact, you was already done. You were already done. I'm sorry. Your free agent money in the biggest year went to Randall, Fournier, Burks, Rose, and Noel. That became your cornerstone of your organization now for at least 2 to 3 years. Your ability to improve it.
How many draft picks do we have in the first round of this next coming draft?
1.
2.
It could
We
be
have one?
2, but 1
could be 2.
guaranteed. Yeah, but we have a lot of second-round picks in the next 2 years, like 20 total.
Second round pick. Stop, dude.
Hey man, I want to at least get. We got to get another first round pick.
Oh no, I want to trade it. I don't like this draft at all. I'm trading. I really
If
don't
you're not in
like
the
this draft.
top 4,
There's
top
some
3 in
alright
the draft, you're
people
trading
in
that
there.
pick, bro. If I'm not getting top 3, Jaden,
You don't like this draft?
No.
No, this draft to me is not like they're gonna be gems. But
Keegan
this
Murray,
draft,
you don't
in
like
terms
him?
of-
They're gonna be random
I've seen
gems.
I've seen mocks where they had guys like Patrick Baldwin, who is struggling big time. Guys like Jalen Duren, who is not impressive. Like they had these guys like 6 and 7. And I mean, in any other draft, and if this was last year's draft, you can't argue that any of the top 3 would be in the top 5 of this last draft. Like as
Can
much
we
as
get
Jaden Ivey, could you put him in that top 5?
Can we get a top 3 pick?
No, we are not
No.
gonna be that bad to get a top 5 pick. The lowest will be
even if we trade one of our biggest pieces.
I mean, the only big piece that would make that happen is Randall. That's the only piece that will make that happen, no matter who.
Let's be clear, Duke. Let's be clear, because you don't have no crystal ball. We will be in that lottery, and all I'm gonna do is until I get those balls,
Pause.
drop. Pause.
Pause.
And I said drop.
Yeah. Pause.
Until those ping pong balls do their thing, Duke. You're not telling me what draft pick I'm getting because you don't have no crystal ball, guys.
Oh no.
We will be in the lottery. We will have a ping pong.
And if that happens,
I
mean, our young guys are getting exposed right now, so everybody thinks I'm an art.
No, we're gonna talk about the exposed part because nobody's getting exposed right now.
Hadouken, I just want to say this. Everyone thinks I'm an RJ hater. It could be the farthest thing from the truth. All I've ever tried to do is help RJ. It's the truth. I've always just tried to help him. When I'm on Twitter going at it with my boy Ethan, it's always love. It's always to help the guy because I see certain things that I can fix immediately. But he's not the only issue. There's many issues.
Yeah, we also have Charlotte's protected pick.
Yeah. We'll talk about the exposed thing.
But I'm gonna say today. But as of today, Charlotte, that pick would be we wouldn't get it, right?
No.
And I gotta show Ethan some love. The dude did a video just because I was talking ish. I love that, man. That's where you earn my respect. When we go back and forth and it gets you so mad, you got to do a video. I salute him for doing that.
He made a great video. Shout out to
there
him.
was one I disagreed with though. The one pass to Obi. If you're passing it to an open Obi, that's not a guaranteed assist because Obi can't shoot. But other than that, Ethan had some good clips.
I mean, I guess, but just.
I thought you said Obi was ready, man. I thought, why is it? Obi got 45 minutes yesterday. Everybody was crying about this guy getting minutes, and he got exposed. The 19 points were not impressive. He scored how many points in the second half when the game was out of bro? People get on Tom Thibodeau, man.
The 19 points in 45 minutes
getting,
without Randall is not impressive.
Y'all guys gotta stop getting hyped up because this guy's a draft pick. Like Obi is so raw. So when Tom Thibodeau, now there are times when Tom Thibodeau he took out the guy I thought were wrong, right? But Tom Thibodeau is also trying to save this kid in terms of look, you need to develop like Coach Hullabaloo
needs to be able to shoot.
The rookie year, Obi Toppin has to be a competent outside shooter. That will allow him to be on the floor offensively. He does not have a post-up game. He does not have a mid-range game, a consistent one. He does not have the greatest of footwork. When he meets the help defenders at the paint, he has trouble. I just saw Jalen Smith dunk on. I don't remember who Ethan just sent me the video of in Twitter.
Yeah, on the
Jalen
Hornets.
Smith, the so-called was he a number 10 pick?
10
for the
pick,
Phoenix
10 pick.
Suns?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a bust. And he's
Yeah,
dunking
he
on people. And I won on the Knicks next season. But people talking about he's a bust. And he could at least use his physicality at the rim.
He's actually not a bad shooter.
That.
Jalen Smith's actually.
He's supposed to be a stretch in a way.
He can be a stretch big. I actually think he's good, but I don't think he's got an opportunity.
Some guys take longer than, and obviously it could be Obi as well too. But I'm just saying, for people, you just gotta hold your horses with Obi, because whenever there's a half court game, Obi struggles.
Exactly.
You guys
he's got to be able to shoot it. He's got to be able. Just one thing, just to add to Legion, he's got to be able to shoot it. To be able to stay on the floor, the amount of corner threes and open threes, if he's not shooting at 36 or better in the half court, we're going to have issues.
Even in the
30%. Corner, you got to shoot better for the corner. The 36 is all around threes. The corner, I think, is
the most important one.
Obi is older than RJ. You don't have a long time.
RJ is the second youngest player on the team.
If you're going to draft him as a number 8 pick at 22 years old already, you best believe you better know his game is there. If not, you got to draft a younger player with higher upside.
You got to need a necessity. Draft a necessity.
I heard the most NBA ready player in the league, bro. That's what people told
Chuck Allen,
me.
you got next.
When I said he wasn't that dude, people said he was the most NBA ready player in the league.
Who said that?
He still can't do some.
Everyone said not everyone said that.
But
the scouts, everyone.
Even the analysts said it.
Yeah,
I heard people say he was old.
Dogs. They had Jaden Ivey. I'm not going to say the name on Bleach Report. Famous analyst had Jaden Ivey at number 17 earlier this year, bro. A lot of these analysts, I'm not ishing on them, bro. But if you read about what they were saying about Obi Toppin, I was literally crossing off everything. Like, nope. Because I think a lot of these guys got lazy when Obi Toppin's getting drafted because the league ended prematurely because of the whole C word. Right, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, these are things about from high school," and you look at highlights of blah. But if you watch his tape, bro, he was not.
Yeah, it was raw.
NBA ready.
Yeah.
He was
raw. My whole thing is some people said that Legion. Maybe you're right. Many people, but I thought it was more so he was older. Not necessarily that he was NBA ready, because he's definitely
No,
Spree, bro. The amount of people, every analyst said he was. It's because he won a Player of the Year.
That's why I don't listen to those analysts, man. That's why you got to listen to my opinion.
But you know who did? Well, I'm not saying Leon though, but Leon did. He listened to his freaking son-in-law or whatever it was.
This is one thing. Yeah. Okay, before we go into anything, Chuck has been wanting to say something, so let Chuck and then Keyshawn talk, and then I'm gonna bring up a point about what you were about to say, as well. But you got it, Chuck.
Salute, gentlemen. How y'all doing this evening?
What's up, Chuck?
Good. How are you doing?
Salute, bro.
All right. The only thing that I want to say, we can go back and forth and we can dance verbally with each other, but we have to understand our organization. Our organization has done the same thing over 30 years, but just disguised it under different regimes. They do not develop young people. They do not know how to draft young people. They just gather enough talent to try to trade for some aging star who's on his last legs. We're not to put hope in this front office to make the right decision of trading out of next year's draft, or even think about this. The two positions that we needed the most on this team for the past decade was a point guard, small forward. Not one of those drafts did they address that situation.
Facts.
When the Kevin Knox draft, you don't draft a guy off of potential at 9 when you know you need a point guard, and there was a point guard in the draft that wanted to be here, who's now looking like an all-star for OKC. You get that is the. Let me see. Kevin Knox draft, Obi draft, and RJ's draft have been the highest. RJ's the highest draft pick that we've had in years, since Patrick Ewing. We haven't had anyone that high before. So to say, the front office did a good job, like if they would have picked anyone else, the city would have burned down. Like, how do you not take the guy that is supposed to be number 3 at number 3? Kevin Knox was a bad draft pick. I like Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox may have a future as a bench specialist in the league, but we didn't develop him well. We did the same thing that we did to RJ this year. Brought in a bunch of guys that play his position. Why would you do that? Why would you bring guys to play his position and then play him out of position and expect him to be your third overall pick with the upside to becoming the cornerstone or the centerpiece of your franchise? That's ridiculous. That's front office malpractice at the highest level. Kevin Knox at 9, fine, whatever. But RJ Barrett at 3, you bring in Evan Fournier, who, for all intents purposes, does the same thing Kevin Knox does. Shoot threes, play no defense. So you paid $18 million when you had a guy for $5 million on the bench who you were giving no burn. That's dumb. You save your money to get a legit point guard. You don't go get a young point guard. I don't necessarily think Schroeder is the best at anything, but for $5 million, that's what they paid Elfrid Payton the season before, $5 million for a guy that's like 25, 26 years old. We don't do that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We luck up to get the guy on a buyout with bad knees who isn't the type of point guard that you necessarily need. You need a guy who's going to get people involved, who's going to pass first, and then when the opportunity comes, knock down shots. Because that was the problem with Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton could get people the ball, but it was let's lock down everybody else, that they revert the ball back to Elfrid Payton, who's wide open. Clank, 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 clank. Twin Towers all over again.
Okay, that was one too many clanks. Relax.
No, yeah, that's funny.
But that's just but that's just my piece. Like we know what we need, but the front office never goes and gets the thing that we need. If you would have gotten a stable point guard in one of these deeper drafts, how do you let? It's like 4 NBA teams that have 3 point guards that could be potential starters. And we have how many? None.
0.
None.
What would it have taken to get LaMelo Ball in that draft? What would we have had to
not getting LaMelo Ball?
No. I'm saying I'm saying at the time.
I don't know if
he was not available.
I don't know if he was available, but I don't know. There was trade rumors that you would trade the 8th pick, then you would have traded Mitch, and then you would have traded the IQ pick.
Like that was not happening. Like they were not budging. Golden State was not budging.
Can I have one retort to Chuck?
Go ahead.
Chuck, the only retort I have is we're not saying that we shouldn't have drafted RJ. There's no way you don't draft RJ at number 3.
Absolutely.
No, what we were saying was that was the first year that the draft changed, where the worst team doesn't get the number 1 pick. And guess who had the worst record?
We did, and we didn't get it. Like the strategy of tanking to get a high pick, the Knicks have not used that. Right now, the way we're going, we're always going to be picking 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's not going to be enough to build a franchise. Guys that are picked.
To be fair, Chuck. To be fair though, just in that specific draft, if say we drafted Zion, say we got the 1 pick, would we be happy right now with Zion being hurt?
No. That's why we would have to get we would have to get Ja Morant.
Oh well,
but they wouldn't get.
We wouldn't have taken Ja Morant.
Yeah, they wouldn't take Ja.
Yeah,
we would have taken Zion.
There was no way they were taking Ja.
I agree with you. I would have taken. I mean, looking back on it, Ja was the best player in that draft. I mean, it's looking that way. So yeah.
Yeah, Guillermo called.
We definitely would have taken Zion.
But
I'm just saying we would be like a lot of people right now. Like, look at New Orleans right now. Zion. When's he coming back? People don't know.
Yeah, and kind of to go back, Chuck made an amazing point. I just feel like, you have so many errors by the front office in drafting wise, and just team construction continuously. And to me, like it's not even like I would say that RJ about the miss position, like he does better at the shooting guard. At the same time though, the only thing that really hurt is that if Evan Fournier could at least play defense, I would not be complaining. Like if they just got me a two that could play defense and just shoot the ball, and then RJ could still play the three and not have to worry about the other guy's man and helping out, then I would be happy with that. That's the thing that gets me mad the most. Give me a two or three that could play defense and shoot, or just give me a three that could play defense and attack the rim. Just one of those, and they just couldn't do that. They really couldn't do that. They couldn't get a Josh Hart. They couldn't get a Kelly Oubre. Couldn't get one of these guys that would have really helped the team. It's just continuous.
Can I point something out?
I think Grimes could become a Josh Hart type player.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't.
Hope maybe because I mean Josh Hart really started improving his 3-point shoot this season, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean he's always been a hustle guy, but he's
I don't see them. They're not the same type of player. That's the thing. Because Josh Hart is not really crazy shooter. He's a hustle guy. He's a shooting guard that averages like 8 boards. He gets his 12
Grimes is a good
points.
rebounder.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think Grimes is. I don't know. Not like.
Yeah, but Grimes can
he's
be
a
that
good
type of
rebounder.
hustle guy too. It's just like he has probably a better shot than your boy Josh Hart.
Yeah.
So like, is it far fetched he could become a Josh Hart guy? No, it's
No.
not. It's not crazy.
Yeah.
So, two things I wanted to first while we're on the Josh Hart and Grimes thing. Do you think Grimes is a starter?
No.
Right now, or just like down the line.
I mean, in general, down the line.
48? Yeah, why not?
I would have him over. Like I don't like Fournier. I'm not a crazy fan of Grimes, but I do think that Grimes would be a good fit next to RJ because he actually plays defense.
Oh, you don't like what you call his son? You don't like Gmo's son?
That's your son? Yeah, well, that's your son.
Who? RJ?
No, Grimes.
No,
Grimes
my son.
Yo, don't listen to GI, bro. This dude's making my crap. Like, I was never a big Grimes fan like that, bro.
That's my son.
Obviously.
Bro, McBride is not your son, bro. Stop it.
That's why he's saying it because I said McBride was my son. But McBride is struggling right now too. So
only thing I gotta be honest. Yeah, I gotta be honest. McBride,
because you know he's in a.
Nah, I can't lie. I watched McBride last 2 games. I'm like, man, my son can't get to the hole. What's going on? I thought my son was a freakish athlete, yo.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
OKC
should have done better, but Toronto, that's not going to happen.
Real quick before we continue on, we got 56 people watching. I don't know how many likes we have, but if you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, turn that notification bell up. Let's try to hit 60 likes if we can. I appreciate you guys for watching. And shout out to the panel too. They're giving a lot of good points. But you can continue, Chud.
All right. Now my second point was when someone brought up about Phil Jackson not meeting with a guy over seafood, right? And how silly that is.
Yeah, the Donovan Mitchell one.
Right. Like that is the most insane thing I've ever heard. You don't meet with a guy because of that. But guess what? A lot of coaches and front offices are like that, and they're particular about certain things. No matter how good a guy may be, I don't like the way his haircut. I don't like the way he wears jeans. I don't like his girlfriend. I don't like his posse or his entourage. So we're not going to sign him. And then you miss out on a talent over something that has absolutely nothing to do with basketball. When it comes to coaching and front offices, sometimes you're a prisoner of their perception. Whatever they think of you, regardless if it's right or wrong, that's what you are to them. And that's how they're gonna proceed with you. Like there was no reason not to give Kelly Oubre a shot.
10 mil, 12 mil. I didn't think he was gonna be that cheap. I thought he was gonna be like 16 to 18.
Exactly. And for Charlotte to get him for 10 mil, I'm like, you just added another young stallion to play against RJ.
He's averaging
with RJ.
He's averaging more than RJ and Fournier right now. Fournier's
And
averaging
Boy
like
can't shoot.
auditioning to come
13. He's
here.
averaging like 16, 17 points right now off the
GI,
bench.
you gotta chill. Oubre can't shoot, bro. You gotta chill, GI. Oubre, no, that ain't sexy.
Tibbs ruins the confidence of guys. I wouldn't say Tibbs ruins the confidence of
Nah,
guys.
he wouldn't.
Now, if you want to say someone ruins the confidence of guys, that's Fizdale. That's the definition of Fizdale. But Tibbs, I can't say that about Tibbs.
Also, y'all have to take into account a lot of these guys. No disrespect to Hadouken and Ethan, but a lot of these guys are T-ball kids, where they got participation trophies, and
Yeah.
everyone's good, everyone's great. So when the first authoritative figure gets in their face and yells at them, they break down. They don't know how to recover from that because they were
Kevin
never
Knox.
taught. They were never taught how to. I believe that's Kevin Knox for sure. I don't think they were ever tough. You know, the kind of guys that were raised kind of tough. The thing about T-ball that takes away from the enjoyment of baseball is your kid is never going to get better because they don't have to take those swings and miss. They don't have to really practice because it's all set up for them. And when it's not set up for them, they get in disarray. And I feel like some of these guys, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them feel, well, you can't talk to me like that, man. I was AAU player of the year. I was college player of the year. I was this and that coming out of college. And it's like, dude, this is the NBA. That's how it goes. I always use this story when I'm speaking about that. Is my second day in the Army, and we were going to our basic training site, and it was intense. There was a lot of yelling. There was a lot of run here, run there. That night when we got in the bunks and they did the count, man, it was I want to go home. I didn't sign up for this. and these guys were like 28, 29, 30. And I was like, wait a minute. And I was like, okay, so you're not used to being yelled at. I was raised around a lot of older black gentlemen who cussed all the time, who always had a hint of liquor on their breath. So being yelled at and called a fool or idiot or dumb like that never really hurt my feelings. And sometimes, you know, when the coaches get upset and they yell and stuff, people can't take that. Like people don't even on this program, even on these chats. Let somebody speak a little bit louder. I guarantee you one of these boxes will get mad and be like, yo, you ain't got to come at me like that, yo. Why are you coming at me like that, yo? All right, maybe I'm sorry. I take everything back. I apologize.
I'm so confused. Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom. Wait, what happened?
He was giving me like an example of. He said basically that Knox ruined himself and he got ruined, and then he just gave an example of like the past. Of like, was it like an army type of thing? It was something like that.
Oh, it was basic training. Like some people can't take that yelling, regardless of how old they are. If they're not used to being talked to that way, they'll break down. They'll shut down. Because there were guys 28, 29, 30. I'm like 18 years old, and there's guys 30 years old. When those lights went out, I want to go home. I miss my family. Oh. And I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Well, they turn into Sergeant Pyle from Full Metal Jacket, and they become unhinged. They get broken.
Exactly, and that's not necessarily their fault. If you know, if that's not the environment that they were in. But at the same time, you got to understand this is the pros. No one's going to hold your hand. You know, everyone's getting paid. Everyone has a job to do, and you're not doing your job. So I might have to call you out in the press. I might have to curse you out as you're walking to the bench. I might have to, you don't get Bobby Knight and start choking and throwing chairs, but you know, that's some people's coaching style. And if you don't have the thick skin to absorb that or take that, then maybe you should try find a different profession. Like they don't yell at florists. They don't. That's all I'm saying.
I think with Kevin Knox though, look, he got done wrong development wise, but I feel like a lot of those young kids on the team, Frank and Knox, I feel like they just rested on the fact that they were drafted high and they would get the opportunity to get minutes and they'd be able to develop on the company's dime. And that
Yeah.
just doesn't it's not always the case, man. Like that's why like there are guys in the NBA who are on trash teams and they improve their games. Freaking Halliburton. We're talking about Halliburton. This guy, he plays on the Kings. He was drafted on a team that had another guard. Now, granted, he wasn't. They were probably planning on moving Fox anyway, but he didn't rest on the fact that yeah, I'm the guy they drafted next, to be next up to Fox, and I can just lay back and just continue to be the off ball kind of guard I've always been. And I mean, like he's picked up his game. Like you can see him making discernible changes to his game that you didn't see at Iowa State. And I feel what Kevin Knox is like, okay, you got 23 minutes, I believe, his first season. You still got 18 minutes your second. And you were in game 2 of bricking shots like, yo, what were you working on this whole time? You know what I mean? Like, okay, granted, you at UK, you have the offense fed to you. But you can't expect that everywhere else you go. You have to have at least 1 or 2 discernible skills in the NBA just to be a role player.
Yeah.
Like, look at Mitch. Mitch right now is a starter when he's healthy. But Mitch really only has, 1 or 2 attributes, really. Running to the basket and defense, really. And then you can say, I guess, rebound. So 2 or 3 things, right? But that's him naturally. Like, Kevin Knox, like, if we put, like, what does he have to offer if the offense is not run through him? Because who else is going to trust? Like, he has to have that in his head. Like, the NBA is a business. And I'm drafted by a bad team. So I can't even trust the foundation that's here. The front office that just drafted me might be going next year. And lo and behold, they were going to 2 seasons? So Kevin Knox, I'm not trying to issue on him. I think there is some talent there. But when you talk about what you just said, bro, mentally, I mean, like, you still making mistakes that you had your rookie year, backdoor cut you still getting abused by, not knowing your assignment is. And it's not as if he's even hitting the shot really well now, these past few games. I mean, like, what does he, what? I don't know. I hope he wakes up, bro. I just don't know what to talk.
So guys, at Hadouken, you know, I'm old. So make sure, I'm old. So I start thinking like old people, be careful of me. But are we just cursed? Like, because what are we saying? I mean, are we cursed?
We haven't moved up a draft in 40 years. So, and Adam Silver is a Knicks fan too. So I guess we are cursed.
Yeah,
In a
last
way,
season
you gotta
confirmed that we are cursed. Like, it has to be. We have a good season on the year, the best draft class and like of all time. Like, it has to be something. The whole
there was guys at number 7. This Josh Giddey guy, some guy named Josh Giddey.
I
He
wouldn't
got
say
like
he's
a triple. He's got like a triple double. Like, we never had a young player get a triple double. He was drafted like 7. He wasn't even like, you didn't even have to go crazy to get him.
I mean, he was the 6th pick in a deep draft, but I mean, either way, I wasn't a big fan of him. He's proven me a little wrong, but he's still not anything like crazy. He's good, but he's like not anything crazy.
But he's better than Grimes and McBride, right?
Yeah, that's obvious.
I'm not mad about the guys we drafted. It's just we didn't get who Tibbs wanted. Tibbs wanted wings. He said he wanted big wings, and we never addressed that.
We got a shooting guard and a point guard.
Was there any big wings over there? Pause.
In the draft?
In the draft, yeah.
I wouldn't care if they took Cam Thomas. Like, when did Cam Thomas get taken? Like,
no, he got taken right after. But the thing, I mean, they could have looked for an actual like small forward. They could have tried to trade up. There was some deeper in the draft, I guess, like Wise Camp, stuff like that. You could have
how come we couldn't package in this deep draft? Oh, because the draft was too deep.
Yeah, we tried trading up for Duarte. It didn't work out. I mean, if you really want to trade Murphy, you could have just traded our 19th or 21st pick and given like a 2nd round pick from 2022 or 2023, and then traded up 2 spots if you really wanted that guy.
All right. So when we traded back, did we miss anything when we traded back? Who did we miss when we traded back?
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson, Keon Johnson, Kai Jones, Josh Christopher.
Whoa, Jalen Johnson. Couldn't that guy help us this year? Jalen Johnson, why does that name sound familiar?
Jalen Johnson was a better prospect coming out of Duke than Obi Toppin was coming out of Dayton. Just
Yeah.
had,
He got a better skill set.
he just had attitude issues, and then he was unable to do the draft.
So
Yeah.
that brings to mind now attitude. Is this guy Kevin Porter Jr. so damaged that we can't even take a flyer on him?
I would be afraid because it's the city.
No,
A young guy like that might not be able to handle New York City.
But
New
he
York
would be the most talented player to walk through that gym for sure. If we got
For sure.
No, I'd take a flyer on KPJ. I already said it. I don't care. You put KPJ on this team. He's the most talented player on the team.
Yeah.
Well, then the front office has to do their job. Make sure he has a mentor, someone that is with him. Make sure that he has, counseling where he could talk to somebody and not lose his temper. Like you can't have your best player get mad, curse the coach out, and just walk out of the stadium. Like that's wild disrespectful, bro.
Yeah.
I lose a lot.
So Chuck Allen, here's the problem with everything you just said.
Yes, sir.
Because you and I old school too. I believe you old school. I don't know. I don't want to make you old. I apologize if you're not.
No, I'm 40.
But he walked out on Jerry Lucas, yo. Jerry Lucas was the bad guy whisperer, yo. Jerry Lucas is he took cocaine. Did he take Vernon Maxwell? Yo, Vernon Maxwell was sniffing cocaine, yo. Jerry Lucas got with him and changed the man's life. He cursed Jerry Lucas out and walked out.
Yeah, I didn't know who. Like I heard it, Jerry Lucas. Yeah, I saw someone tweet about it. Like he can't. Like even he did that to Jerry Lucas. That's the craziest thing. That's what someone tweeted. So I mean,
that's
you
why
saying that's crazy.
That's why I sleep good at night, saying, "All right, well, maybe Kevin Poole, maybe we can't." Because I would throw multiple draft picks in a young player to get this guy.
I wanted to trade for him out the Cavs when he got traded to the Rockets for just a second round pick. I was on that for so long to do it.
But the Knicks are desperate now. We're desperate. We're desperate.
Yeah, nah. We're desperate, but I feel like there's no way they would go for him, to be honest.
I know, but if you can, but that's the type of player that we could give the ball to and say, okay, look, man, you're about to have the opportunity to be really special. We're gonna give you the ball. Tibbs, let him play ISO ball. You want to let guys play ISO ball? Let him play ISO ball. Yo, he'll hurt some people. He's that good.
Oh, I believe he's an awesome talent, and we're in no position to turn down talent of that caliber at all. But here's what I'll say: we took a flyer on a guy who choked his coach, got us to a finals. So if all he did was curse him out and walked out, hey, if it's for a second round pick. Like, because how high is his value really going to be that, he did that to a coach that is supposed to be the coach, the bad guy whisperer?
Yeah, but here's the problem. We're such desperation, we have to overpay. I'm expecting to overpay. I'm not expecting to get a steal. So because we ain't got a steal yet, right? So I'm expecting to overpay, and we can't. We're not in a position to try to. It ain't like we got something coming through that door to save us.
Chuck,
the other part,
KPJ?
one more part. Hold on, one more thing, Gmo. 10 seconds. Carlissimo was an idiot. Carlissimo did have a reputation for being an idiot. So although Sprewell shouldn't have done that, Carlissimo, in this case, like you said, this is the bad boy whisperer. So I think his is worse than Sprewell's. That's all I have.
Did you want a KPJ, Chuck?
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind kicking the tires on him. I had my stipulations of making sure that you had a mentor for him, like somebody that was going as soon as the plane drops down at JFK or LGA, they're there to meet him. Now, young blood, you bunking with me. Like there's no you getting a place for yourself. You with me for this season. And help him get acclimated to the city, because not for nothing, I know probably what he said was cap, but Joakim Noah said, New York was too lit for him.
Yeah, no.
Joakim Noah. So imagine this young kid, this young stud, who has some issues coming to New York City. New York is a rough place, man. Our fans are something else, you know. So you don't want him pulling a Jahlil Okafor punching a guy in an alley, you know, and you are a top NBA player at the time, you know.
The thing with him though is like I think it might go more than that because your boy was talking about suicide a few years ago. Like I think one thing, and I'm not getting nobody right. I think that one thing that goes uh under talked or under discussed. I'm saying the wrong word, but is mental health, bro. They're legit athletes who have legit mental health, and I'm not talking about yo, you need a mentor because there's some people just wild out and they do need that mentor, like you're talking about, and there's some people that literally need to be diagnosed. Like your boy was wilding out when he was with the
Yeah, in
Cavs.
2020 he had
And
host.
yeah, like bro, and you're talking about pain, and not saying you said it, but he's up for extension, right? So you're talking about say this guy comes to the Knicks, say he kills it, right? And you know us Knicks fans, we love the next so-called possible it. This guy does that for the Knicks. Say he helps carry us to say the second round of the season. Just make this up, and then we're thinking like, yo, everybody will be like, yo, you gotta pay him because I remember before the playoffs, everybody's saying Randall, not everybody, but the vast majority of Knicks fans are saying Randall is a max player, and that all
Oh yeah,
disappears. So
yeah. So yeah.
you're talking about a guy who has mental issues that may not be a mentor thing, and then you possibly give him money. Say he pulls an AB on you. Say in the middle of a playoff game, he says F all this and leaves the arena like he did with the Rockets. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying he's talented. There's a reason why he's so talented and yet really can't stick someplace. You know what I mean? So I would rather avoid him as talented as he is. He's a beast. I liked him at USC, but I'm good on him, bro. He needs legit help.
And you know the crazy thing about KPJ is that if you plug him in at a point guard spot, he's actually a perfect system fit in my opinion. Because you could play him at the top of the key and he could be a test defensively. Because all you need to put in without his effort, and all he's gonna have to do is constant pick and roll and horn sets, which he's good at anyway. So he actually fits the system properly.
Yo, he'll pull the horn back when he turn the corner. He'll pull the horn back and then push it for. Man, that boy got gears. That boy, we need a player like that. And I understand Gmo, if he's not mentally ready, you can't do it. But man, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody disgruntled star to stay loose like that, man. If that will happen, our fortunes will change at this organization.
I feel like him and RJ would fit pretty good together too. To be
But
honest,
KPJ needs a ball in his hands too. So like
the thing for me is what I don't
And
know.
RJ don't. And RJ don't. I don't think RJ needs it.
Well, RJ should have the ball in his hands well too. But I'm just saying, like,
my theory is that like you finally get a way to get Randall off the ball, which I don't know how that's gonna happen, but you finally get that way, and you just let RJ and KPJ operate off the pick and roll and run the sets, and I think that would actually work perfectly.
Y'all might not believe me.
Giving up the ball to KPJ?
Yes.
I don't think Randall would.
Randall's giving up the ball to Jason Kidd level point guards and up. Like Derrick Rose, he'll concede, but Randall's a head.
He gave the ball up.
To be playmaking like that.
He gave the ball up to Elf Payton. He let Elf bring it up
because Elfrid Payton was gonna give it right back to
stop. Yeah, he played with him in the Pelicans, so that's why he trusted him like that.
So Randall just needs to trust that the guy that he's gonna be with, and that has to happen, and that has to happen with any two players that we get.
He should be doing that with RJ. That's where it begins.
Yeah, but remember, here's the difference. No disrespect to RJ. But I'm talking about putting a much more offensively dynamic player next to Randall, not RJ. I'm making RJ number 3 now. And y'all should be okay with that because he's going to get his opportunities.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, KPJ is not going to. I just don't think he's going to be coming here.
No, I know he's not, but I'm just saying this is the type of. If you're looking for the player that GI is looking for, if it's not a 6'9" wing, it's a 6'4" player that can with long wingspan. That's impossible guard. Yo, watching SGA the other day, man. That's schoolyard stuff. That's go out the schoolyard. That's Ali Mo stuff. You ever watch Ali Mo play ball, man? You watch a guy play ball, you say, you know what? He can get it anywhere, anytime. It don't matter what defense you run to him. Guys, if you're gonna win a championship, you can have a player on your team with 2 seconds left, 5 seconds left. You can give him the ball, he can get a bucket. These are the type of players I'm talking about getting now. If it ain't gonna be, if we got all this other stuff, we gotta break through somewhere. If we're not gonna be able to build a great team. We've made too many mistakes, and we're gonna get lucky. Is one special guy coming in that door that's like this KPJ type guy. Maybe not him, but he has his type skill sets.
Okay. Well, all right. We could go away from the trade stuff and all that. Okay, there's a thing with trade, like play the kids, whatever. Some people have that, or some people just have a problem with Randall. I don't think that it's fair to be like saying that, oh, Randall didn't play these games. If you played, whatever, this would have happened. This would have happened. This is what you guys asked for. I feel like it's just a false narrative for a certain amount of things. But how do you feel like they played in Toronto, and now we're going to play the Pacers and then the Celtics back to back? We just got Mitch. He cleared protocols. Jericho Sims cleared protocols, which is good. I hope they play tomorrow because we're going to go against Sabonis and Miles Turner. Nobody's going to be able to guard that paint if they don't play. But how do you think we played against the Raptors? What do you think is the main reason we lost?
Raptors had amazing point guard play and really, really good wings coming at us all night. And we have bad point guard play and no wings. We should have lost by 30. We're lucky we only lost by 15.
Yeah. They had the 2 best players on the court on their team. That's really it.
The 2 best? You wanna add some more?
Fred VanVleet is an all-star. Fred VanVleet is an all-star. Siakam is basically an all-star. OG Anunoby is having his best year. He's averaging like 19.
Okay, 4 we can say, because I was thinking of Scotty Barnes and Siakam.
And honestly, Knicks fans screamed at giving $75 million, and we gave Fournier 78. Picture that. They screamed at giving the point guard VanVleet 75 million, and we gave Fournier 78 million.
But you gotta realize no one wanted to give Fournier that money. So
but this Knicks fans though said 75.
They didn't want to give Fournier that money for the most part. That's the Knicks organization that did that. So
I didn't get too many.
To be honest, that was a leverage type of thing. To be honest, with Fred VanVleet, they said it so many times. He wasn't ever coming here. He was just using it to get more money.
I know.
And that seemed like a favor too. But to go back to the Raptors game too, like the way they played their zone was stifling, bro. Like we don't play against zones, period. But if you watch that game and see how they closed out on whoever the zone breaker was, when they got it back to the wings, like that's a well-disciplined defense. Not saying we're not disciplined, but it's like we need our horses there, like the Bullocks and those guys from last year, even Paytons, you want to count him, Mitch Robinson for a little time played knows it well, but that Raptors team, I don't know why they're not better. It doesn't make sense because
they've been injured a lot.
Yeah, they had the injured thing, and they got hit by COVID.
But not even with injuries and protocols and stuff like that. They just haven't been like.
And they've been playing in front of no fans. They've been in Tampa Bay. They've been up there. They've been all over. They haven't.
This whole season they've been in.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But they still got to get acclimated. But they also playing in front of no fans. They go other places, fans screaming at them. They go to their places empty. It's got to be.
Oh, by the way.
But before you change the topic, let me say this about the game. And I need y'all make sure y'all hold me accountable, because if I get the kick in RJ's back, I don't know how we can judge RJ's offense. Look what RJ's doing on defense. How is this? How do you draft a guy number 3 and treat him like this? I mean, how is he supposed to be the one at 6'7"? He was drafted to be a shooting guard, trying to stick these wings, man, all night, man. All night he's playing set guys with 7'2" wingspan. What the hell is he supposed to do?
It's called your front office not getting
That's front
6'9"
office
wings
malpractice.
available in a freaking free agency or in the draft. You had Kessler Edwards available. You had Herb Jones available. You had guys that you could have drafted that could have been your wing for the future. But no, let's get Fournier and let's put RJ at the 3 where he statistically does worse on offense. I don't know what he does on defense per se against wings versus twos. But RJ Barrett, I mean, and it's not to make no excuse, but blame this on the front office, bro. You could have had Oubre out there hounding a guy like freaking OG Anunoby. You got several options out there, bro.
Josh Hart would have pissed so many people off, like on the other team, him playing defense.
Yeah, but you can't be putting. But there was times RJ had to guard Siakam.
Yesterday, we had Knox at the center position for 4 minutes.
One time,
That's wild.
One time Siakam just went to the box, top of the free throw line
3 times in a row, and
cleared out the whole left side. Posted up RJ on the inside.
No way he was doing anything.
On the outside. I'm like, what? This is like playing your little. This is like playing your son.
That's why.
Playing the backyard with your son.
Exactly what you said, Gi. Before the game, I've said it. I said there is no way we're winning this game unless there's a miracle, because this is the first game they came back with all their players healthy. We have like 6-7 people in protocols / injured. We have no paint presence at all. You saw the whole entire game. We did nothing in the paint. Literally nothing. Like you were talking about Siakam. In the third quarter, he had 3 straight buckets with ease getting into the paint. And it was just a light floater, a light layup, a finger roll. We just couldn't do anything. It was just not working out. They had 6-7 plus players, like hype players, throughout the whole entire lineup besides Fred VanVleet. Him and Gary Trent were the shortest. And Fred VanVleet was making tough contested threes. Personally, I think he should be an all-star, but he's probably not going to be an all-star because seeding-wise. But he's playing on an all-star level this year. We just couldn't do anything. And tomorrow, going against the Pacers, we got to pray Mitch is playing. Because Mitch will probably do a little something, but if Mitch doesn't play and Sims doesn't play for conditioning, we're losing the game. And that's because we have no single person that will be able to guard Sabonis in the paint, Miles Turner in the paint. Nothing. Nobody. Literally nobody. We're not going to be able to. Maybe you'll be able to stop. Karis LeVert has been playing better recently. You might not be able to stop him because there's no paint presence at all. Malcolm Brogdon, they all love going to the rim. You really are going to struggle tomorrow. That's just where it's sitting at.
Hadouken. As long as Randall is out, this team is not going to score 100 points.
We scored 100.
Only scored 100.
Yeah,
I know. Only scored 105 yesterday because the other team they were already beating you. If you hold the other team to 25 points a quarter and they score 100, they're going to hold you to 90 at best. This team, I've watched. This team has struggled to. If you've been paying attention the last 3 weeks, we've been struggling to score 100 points. Period. Now that Randall is out, we're not gonna score 100 points.
I mean, I don't put that too much like on Randall because you're missing so many more players than just Randall. That's the thing.
No, I'm saying that Randall is such an important part of the offense that it won't go in his absence.
Yeah, that's why
not for an entire game.
That's why I feel like that's what I was saying. I feel like people were overreacting, especially like after the OKC game and the last game, because there was no way we're winning the Toronto Raptors game. Literally zero chance. But the thing that I want people to understand is that when Randall has barely missed any games in the whole 3 years he's been here, and the offense is set up primarily around him and through him, what do you think is going to happen to the team? They need to adjust. There's no way you expect the kids, especially with Derrick Rose out, Kemba, Mitch, you can't expect them to win a game or have a fluid offense until it's like a certain amount of games pass. Like these last 2 games. The first game you shot 19.5% from 3, 8 for 41, and you weren't guarding the 3 at all. And that was a game you could have actually won. So I can't say anything about that, but you missed wide open threes. There were so many good looks. But these next ones coming up is going to be way too difficult.
And if RJ was your primary player, he would get so much he would get so much slack. He would get because when he decides to go to the hole, there's not a lot of different alternatives, if any at all. That head's going down. He giving you these bowls. He's strong as an ox, and he's going to the hole.
He's been having really
He's
good
not-
finishes, not with even with strength, but I agree with you.
But he's not stopping. There's not any options coming off of that. You setting a pick for him to get him to the hole, and he may kick out from time to time. But I don't know how that doesn't make the players around him better. That makes he'll be efficient. You have to work. You have to pay attention to that. If not, he'll get 30 on you quick.
GI, he did that. He did that the last 2 games, driving in the basket. When he sees he doesn't have the thing, he's been passing it out. But they just have been missing shots. He's been passing it out to Grimes, to Obi, to Fournier, to Burks. They just haven't been hitting the shots. That's like the problem with it. And just like you're pointing out about him in the paint, look at last game when he came out of timeout, right? When he was shooting bad. Tibbs was talking to him. You saw Tibbs talking to him. He came back. He got a layup, and then he got a ferocious dunk on Siakam. And then later on in the game, he posted up Fred VanVleet twice in a row, and he got 2 nice post ups and 1. And then next 2 plays, he's in the paint, and guess what is happening? He has a mismatch, and Fred VanVleet is bringing his guy towards him, and then he doesn't get the ball. And then the next play again, the same exact thing. RJ has a mismatch on the right wing, and Fournier shoots a step back 3 and misses. Like, there's just certain things that makes no sense.
Pull-up jumper. What happened to his pull-up, his mid-range?
Trash.
I thought he was working on that.
Yeah, he's not hitting jump shots at all. His jump shots.
Everyone knows he's gonna go to the paint. He has to stop on a dime and hit those pull-ups. Like, that's gonna create so much space.
He shot like 2 mid ranges yesterday. They missed, but he does need to. That's why I always say I want him to shoot more mid ranges than threes. I want him to I think like yesterday he was fine from the 3, 2 or 5, whatever. He shot like 2 step backs or side steps, whatever. But his jumper is kind of lost right now, and he needs to find the back. That's why you gotta hope, like in these next few games, he gets it back because we're going against the Pacers, the Celtics, and the Celtics again. Play them back to back. So these are very important games. And I think Randall is going to be out for at least 2 more games because, you're going to be out for conditioning and then an extra game tomorrow. So we really got to see. But do you guys have any final thoughts or predictions for the game tomorrow? Because I'm about to end it in like 10 minutes. So just let me know if you guys do have anything to say about the game tomorrow.
I think it's a loss.
Okay. What? Okay.
Yeah.
Just hope we see the young guys show some promise. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. What you think?
Only we end up winning tomorrow is if RJ goes for 30.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even think 30 will get us a win.
No, I think that. Honestly, I think that we're due to have a good game from one of our role players. I think that this is kind of a Burks game.
Me too. The thing that's why I said I didn't understand why Burks only played 23 minutes.
I think that this is a Burks and Quickly game because they actually match up well against Indiana because of their speed. So I think that if RJ goes for 30, I think that we'll be able to win the game. But that's a very big if.
Duarte might give us hell again.
Oh yeah.
Let me see the injury report for the Pacers because someone said they have a lot of players out. It doesn't look like they have a lot of players out. Oh, actually, Duarte is in health and safety. Malcolm Brogdon is in health and safety. Interesting. That was on the 30th of December, but it doesn't say they're back. But it might be glitched because they don't really update on ESPN. TJ Warren's still out. Goga is still out. Karis LeVert won't play Sunday. Okay, so Karis LeVert is in health and safety as well. He just entered health and safety yesterday. So Karis LeVert won't play. Goga won't play. TJ Warren, of course. Isaiah Jackson is out with injury. Caleb Martin's in health and safety. Malcolm Brogdon's health and safety. Jeremy Lamb is health and safety. Yeah, they got a lot of health and safety, but they still have Miles Turner and Sabonis. So this is then if that still comes to fruition and they still are all out, we do still have a good chance of winning this game. I think.
Justin Holiday's gonna drop 40.
Who?
Big game for Holiday.
Justin Holiday.
Yeah, Holiday is gonna go on.
No, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I guess that So I think tomorrow is a possible win, but at the same time, it depends on who they have playing. It's gonna be a tough game, to be honest. I don't know if we really will win this game, in my personal opinion. But I just hope they play well. Salute, late to the stream. How's it? It's good. Hope everyone's having a great holiday. Yeah, Burks is probably gonna start. Do you think? Okay, so someone was saying it in the chat. Paris Jugger keeps saying that Tibbs was making McBride lose his confidence last game because he pulled him out so quick.
Yeah.
And he said that Obi has been losing his confidence all year. But Obi, I don't know if people forget about this because it happened so quick. But we were all saying that it would just be crazy for Obi to even jump up from 11 to 14 minutes, and he's playing 16 minutes per game. So Obi is getting enough time. Obi is getting enough time.
I keep hearing people say that Tibbs ain't putting the kids in positions to win when literally the schemes that we're running on the court benefit all the young players and rookies, except for RJ. Literally, all the schemes and plays that we run benefit the young players. All the motion comp sets, they benefit especially Obi because he can't do much in the half court, but they benefit him.
Oh, basically. But yeah, that's basically it. And the Deuce part, I think it was fair to take him out, but I did think he should have still played somewhere in the second half. I didn't understand that, but I don't think that's more of a confidence thing, to be honest. I think that's just coaches just trying to show him everything. But shout out to Guillermo. Hope he feels better. Shout out to Chuck, Keyshawn, Ethan. We had we had GI in here too as well. Someone else left earlier. I don't know how I forgot already, but someone left earlier. But and Spreewell. Yeah, Spreewell as well. So I appreciate them for being on the panel. I appreciate everyone in the chat. We had like 70-something people in here at one point. That's crazy. So I appreciate you guys. Make sure to smash that like button. If you're watching right now, still watching, and when you watch in the replay, we got a lot of people watching in the replay. Make sure to subscribe and turn that notification bell on. I'll most likely be on. Today's Monday. I'll be on Wednesday. To go over the game from tomorrow. But I will catch you guys next time. Peace.